Welcome back to Goshen Prepping, everybody. Glad you're here as always. It's hot outside, at least where I'm at. How about you? And they're saying possibly the hottest temperatures on record this summer. Will it happen? Will it not? Either way, it's a hot summer. So I'm going to go through some certain things that obviously right now, even just during the summer where things are relatively peaceful, you want to make sure you stay primed and happy and healthy and everything's good. But when crap hits the fan, guaranteed the heat's going to affect you even more. So this is a very, very important video to make sure you take notes because, and all this is my Ninja Prepper binder too, but take notes because you want to make sure that you survive because dehydration, fluid loss, etc., it's a major killer. So we want to make sure we get past that. All right, first off, lots of practical information here, including, for example, just make sure you're always drinking water before you even get thirsty. And for me, guaranteed every single day, I drink an electrolyte and I drink at least a liter of water, if not more. Got to drink a lot. And so therefore, I never have the opportunity to feel thirsty. All right, when I was in the military, I got dehydrated. You don't ever want to get dehydrated. And people will say, oh, I'm dehydrated. That's not the correct medical term. What you should be saying is, oh, I'm really thirsty. Because true dehydration is awful. Take it from me who went through. You'll never want to go through that. You never will. We're talking about diarrhea and vomiting, and you're even like not even thinking straight. It's horrible, horrible stuff. So if you ever even have just a little bit of a twinge of like, I'm really thirsty right now, that's a huge red warning flag. You better be drinking lots of water. You should be drinking lots of water so you never even get to that position of being thirsty. This should be like a rule for life right there. It's Goshen Prepping's rule number 28 for life. You better drink enough water so you never in your life feel thirsty again. That's the key. All right. Now we also have to have electrolytes. Now it's like a catch-22. It's a horrible thing. Think about this. And I'm telling you this as a physician. If you get to the point where you're dehydrating, your body is trying to recover as much water as possible. And when it does that, it'll retain water by dumping out potassium. Okay, it's a mechanism that we have in our kidneys. It's a counter current transport. I forget the exact terminology for it, but you'll dump out potassium as a last-ditch effort to keep your water. And guess what? You have to have that potassium to make your muscles work correctly. And so because you became dehydrated, you dumped your potassium and now you have muscle cramps. As you get older, by the way, for my age or older, you probably notice you're getting more muscle cramps than you did when you were younger. And that's because we can't handle it as much. So make sure you're regulating your electrolytes. I take electrolytes every day for this reason. Because here's the thing, people will say, oh, you've got a muscle cramp, go do banana. That's not good advice. Sure, the banana has lots of potassium or pickle juice if you love that kind of thing. No, you need to tell them, go drink a whole bunch of water while you'll eat a banana at the same time. And the reason being is you'll just dump the potassium out again. You have to make sure you have enough water in your system to not be dehydrated in the first place. And one of the things that causes that dehydration, by the way, is excessive alcohol. Alcohol is a diuretic. It makes you pee. You know, what's the old term? People say if you started drinking, it would open the floodgates or something and off you go. And that's because literally it changes your body biochemically to make you urinate more. You urinate more, you're not retaining as much water. And they say that, by the way, that's why you have a hangover the next day, because dehydration. I really don't know if it's true or not. That's what I've heard. Maybe it is. I don't do that anyway. But if you do drink alcohol, make sure you're drinking enough extra water to compensate for that diuretic getting your water out. Okay. Hot days, need to get some work done outside. Nothing wrong with that. Early in the morning. Hopefully you're an early riser. I am. I love getting up early. I love getting up early and getting all my work done. And I've got so much work done. It's only 9 o'clock. It's fantastic. But that's how you do it when you have to be outside getting work done. Even indoors too, by the way. I mean, maybe you have central air, but you'll find sometimes even just trying to work around during the summertime, it gets a little warm. So get it in the morning. Light, loose fitted clothing, like light colors. The darker the colors, the more it absorbs the sunlight and makes you nice and hot. Loose fitting, so you have some air breathing through it. That's the way to go. One of those nice, really huge brimmed hats for your head is always a good thing. It's not simply just for sunburns. I mean, if you, by the way, eliminate your diet from seed oils like I do, I'm not saying I don't get some tannage going on. I have a little bit of tannage right now. But the more seed oils you eat, the more burned you become in the sun. But either way, having a wide brim hat helps out with that too. Take breaks. The most experienced workers will take breaks. Take a break every hour. We always took a break every hour for 10 minutes. Drink water. get in the shade, relax. It really does wonders. And by the way, for us right now, we're filming a movie this summer. And this last weekend, we were out and it was hot, hot, hot. And I forced everybody, hey guys, let's go ahead and take a cut. Let's go into the shade for 10 minutes to have some water and relax. Granted, for a lot of the crew, they want to go from 10 minutes into 15 and 20 minutes. I was like, all right, guys, I've got to get back into it. And that's what you have to do, because when it's hot like that, you want to sit around. I get it, but we got to get going. But you also can't forget your pets. Pets have a whole different situation besides having a fur coat. But obviously the dogs, for example, can pant to get rid of the heat. That's what they do. But it's not just that. Think about this. When they lay down sometimes like on the cement. Have you ever walked on the cement in the summertime with your bare feet? Dogs don't have that connection sometimes. And even though they're not getting burned like we would because of the fur, it will put more heat in their body. So obviously a nice shady place with lots and lots of water for your four-legged friends is always a good thing. All right. Obviously, and I think you would know this, never leave kids or pets in your car during the summer. Obviously, anytime, by the way, unattended. But beyond that, as preppers, here's what you do. Keep lots of extra water bottles in your car. Even some electrolytes is good. Make sure you have things like a hat and sunscreen set aside always in your car in case you ever need them. Possibly even like a little rechargeable fan. They work wonders. They're really nice. But lastly, as a doctor, of course, I'm not giving you medical advice. Of course, I'm not. But you have to recognize heat illnesses because they can be fatal. And again, the first one I already mentioned is muscle cramps. It's not from a lack of potassium. It's from dehydration causing you to have a lack of potassium. So counteract that all the time. I always replace lots of fluids and electrolytes every single day, especially in martial arts, working out all the time. Then you get into heat exhaustion. Heat exhaustion is this. I'm sweating to cool off. Your body knows that. It's pretty smart. So you sweat. As that water comes off your skin, it evaporates. When it evaporates, it takes heat with it and it cools you off. That's why you sweat. But if it's a very, very hot day and your body temperature is really, really hot, it's going to have a hard time cooling you off, especially if you're in a humid environment, especially if you're in a humid environment without some kind of fan or wind or breeze going by. That's why when a breeze hits, you're like, the breeze is pulling off more of your sweat and cools you off. It works very, very well. But what happens with heat exhaustion, that system of sweating is not working well enough and your body temperature is still rising and you're sweating profusely. It's not the super death dangerous zone yet, but you're heading there. If you're in heat exhaustion, you need to get to the shade. You need to fan yourself and cool off. You need to drink lots of fluids because the last thing you want to happen is heat stroke. Heat stroke is the temperature in your body increases so much that your brain kind of starts cooking. Think of it that way. And it gets so hot, it literally can shut off the mechanisms for your sweating. The number one thing that's trying to make you cool, it'll shut it off. So you're, instead of like just drenching in sweat, you have dry skin, dry red skin on the hottest of days. You are heading toward brain damage. In that situation, rapid cooling is the only thing you can do. We'll see with that altered mental status or not thinking correctly, they can collapse and have a seizure, go unconscious. This is a medical emergency. So in a civilian, wonderful time right now, everything's happy. 911 is the key. 911 is always the key if you can use it. But if you don't have that situation and crap hits the fan, you need to cool them off as fast as possible. That's the only thing that's going to save their life. Okay. All right. So there we go. So what are you doing this summer? Are you working outside? And what kind of record temperatures have you seen? That's your question. But here we're in the land of Michigan, beautiful trees and lots of water, and it's hotter than you know what outside. 90 degrees. Again, I know a lot of you guys are like 90 degrees. I would love to have that. But us Michiganders, we're not used to it. We like the nice cool temperatures of 30 degrees outside. Anyways, what are you doing this summer? What are you doing to keep cool? And what kind of jobs do you have to get done? But more importantly, I hope you're drinking your water, drinking your electrolytes. And basically, just like every morning you get up and put your shoes and socks on, you need to have a ritual of drinking a certain amount of water every single day with electrolytes every day during the summer, not only to prevent heat cramps, but also, more dire medical emergencies. Thanks for watching, everybody. Put in the comments below and say hello, and I'd love to chat with you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.